The underground boxing venue in Kowloon smelled like cigarette smoke and sweat that had soaked into concrete for decades. Hong Kong, March 1969, 3,000 people packed into a warehouse, converted into a fighting arena, where rules were suggestions and violence was currency. The air was thick with humidity and the particular tension that comes before blood is spilled. Overhead lights cast harsh shadows across the ring. The canvas was stained dark from previous fights. This was not sport. This was spectacle. Viktor Dragunov stood in the center of the ring like a monument to brutality. 6'4", 240 pounds of Soviet boxing machinery. His chest heaved from exertion. Blood that was not his own marked his gloves. His opponent lay unconscious on the canvas behind him. Chen Zhao, Hong Kong's lightweight champion, 32 wins, respected, skilled, now broken. The fight had lasted 3 rounds. It should have been stopped in the second. Viktor had not come to win. The fight had lasted 3 rounds. It should have been stopped in the second. Viktor had not come to win. He had come to destroy. Viktor's record spoke for itself. 43 wins, 2 losses. Both losses to men who outweighed him by 30 pounds. He had fought in Moscow, in Leningrad, in Warsaw. Every victory a statement, every opponent a message. Soviet superiority demonstrated through broken bones and shattered pride. Tonight he was in Hong Kong as part of a cultural exchange program. Boxing versus martial arts, East versus West. The Cold War fought in boxing rings instead of battlefields. The referee raised Viktor's arm. The Soviet officials in the front row stood and applauded. Loud, demonstrative, the rest of the crowd sat in shocked silence. They had come to see Chen Zhao represent Hong Kong, to see their champion defend their honor. Instead, they watched him carried out on a stretcher, his face swollen beyond recognition, his career possibly over. Viktor pulled his arm free from the referee, grabbed the microphone from the ring announcer. His voice boomed across the arena. Heavy Russian accent, arrogant, dismissive. This is Hong Kong boxing. This is your champion. Pathetic. He gestured at the stretcher being carried out. Your martial arts are children's games, dancing, forms, pretty movements. But when real fighting comes, you fall, like he fell. The crowd began to murmur, anger building. But what could they do? Viktor was official, protected, untouchable. Viktor was not finished. He pointed at the crowd. Your kung fu masters hide behind philosophy, behind ancient traditions. But philosophy does not stop my fist. Tradition does not save you from pain. He laughed. In Soviet Union, we do not play games. We fight, we win, we dominate. This is reality. Your Bruce Lee movies are fantasy. Your kung fu schools are jokes. The murmur grew louder, angrier. Viktor fed on it, wanted more reaction, more attention, more dominance. Then he made his mistake. His eyes scanned the crowd, looking for maximum impact. They landed on an elderly woman. 3rd row, she sat with her husband, both in their 70s. Respectable, quiet, traditional. She had been crying, not loudly, just tears running down weathered cheeks. Tears for Chen Zhao, for the humiliation, for Hong Kong. Viktor pointed directly at her. Even your grandmothers cry like children, weak like your men. Maybe I should fight one of your old women. Would be fair a match. Drop a comment right now if you think anyone in that arena could have stopped what came next. Because what happened in the following minutes changed how 3,000 people understood the difference between size and skill. The crowd erupted, not cheering, shouting, cursing. Men stood from their seats. The Soviet officials looked nervous. Security moved toward the ring. Viktor just smiled, enjoying the chaos he created. The referee tried to take the microphone. Viktor shoved him away. This was his moment, his stage, his dominance complete, or so he thought. Bruce Lee sat in the 8th row. He had not come officially. No invitation, no announcement, just curiosity. He wanted to see what this Soviet champion could do, wanted to understand his technique, his strategy. What he saw disgusted him, not the violence, that was boxing, but the cruelty, the unnecessary humiliation, the disrespect. When Viktor destroyed Chen Zhao, Bruce remained calm. That was sport, brutal but sport. When Viktor mocked Hong Kong martial arts, Bruce stayed seated. Words were just words. But when Viktor pointed at the crying woman, when he insulted her in front of 3,000 witnesses, something in Bruce changed. Not anger, something colder, something final. He stood slowly. People around him noticed. Who was this small man? What was he doing? Bruce did not go to the ring. Not yet. He went to the woman first, walked down 3 rows, knelt beside her seat, spoke quietly. Only she could hear. "I apologize for the insult you have suffered. I will correct this." The woman looked at him through tears, confused. Who was this young man? Her husband put a protective hand on her shoulder. Bruce stood, turned toward the ring. The crowd began to notice. A small Chinese man in black training clothes, walking toward the ring where Viktor still stood, still talking, still mocking. Bruce climbed through the ropes. Viktor stopped mid-sentence, looked at this small man who had just entered his domain. "Who are you?" Viktor asked, his voice amused. "Have you come to avenge your grandmother?" "How noble." Bruce did not answer, just stood in the center of the ring. No fighting stance, no preparation, just standing, breathing. Viktor found this hilarious. "You want to fight me? Look at yourself. I will break you with one hand." The crowd went silent, waiting, watching. 3,000 people holding their breath. Bruce spoke, his voice quiet, but everyone heard it. "You insulted an innocent woman that cannot stand." Viktor laughed louder. "Cannot stand? What will you do about it?" Bruce's expression did not change. "I will show you in 3 minutes." Viktor threw the microphone aside. 3 minutes. I give you 30 seconds. Then you go to hospital with your friend." He pointed at the door where Chen Zhao had been carried out. The referee tried to intervene. "This is not authorized. No official match." Viktor shoved him toward the ropes. "I authorize it. Let us fight." The referee looked at the Soviet officials. They shrugged. If Viktor wanted this, it would happen. The referee stepped back, gave up. Bruce and Viktor faced each other. The size difference was absurd. Viktor, 240 pounds of professional boxing experience. Bruce, 135 pounds. No boxing gloves, no corner man, no preparation. The crowd whispered in Cantonese, "Suicide. This is suicide. Someone stop this. He will be killed." Viktor moved first. No caution, no strategy, just raw aggression. Threw a massive right hook, full power, professional technique, the kind of punch that had knocked out 43 men. It connected, not clean, but enough. Caught Bruce's shoulder as he tried to slip. The impact spun him halfway around. The crowd gasped. Bruce stumbled. His left hand went to his shoulder. His face showed pain, real pain. Viktor grinned, saw blood on Bruce's lip where he had bitten it from the impact. First blood. Viktor came forward, sensing weakness, threw a combination. Left jab, right cross, left hook, professional, devastating. Bruce blocked the jab, took the cross on his forearm. The hook caught his ribs. The sound was sharp. Bruce's breathing changed, deeper, controlled, fighting through pain. The crowd was in shock. This was not what anyone expected. Viktor was dominating. Bruce was taking damage, real damage. A man in the crowd shouted in Cantonese, "Someone stop this before he dies." Bruce's translator, standing ringside, grabbed the bottom rope, pulled himself up, shouted in English, "Bruce, this is enough. Come down. You have made your point." Bruce did not look at him, did not acknowledge, just kept his eyes on Viktor. Viktor pressed forward, drove Bruce toward the corner, threw body shots, heavy, professional. Each one landed with a thud that made people in the front row wince. Bruce's guard was tight, but the power was real. His ribs were taking punishment. His breathing labored. Viktor leaned in close, whispered loud enough for ringside to hear. "You are brave, but stupid. Bravery does not stop fists." Subscribe right now to see if Bruce Lee survives the next 60 seconds, because what happens next will determine whether courage means anything when facing overwhelming force. Bruce was in the corner. No escape. Viktor loaded up, threw a massive uppercut, aimed at Bruce's chin. If it landed clean, the fight was over. Bruce moved, not back, no room, sideways, along the ropes. The uppercut missed by inches. Viktor's momentum carried him forward, his guard open. Bruce's right hand snapped out, short, compact, struck Viktor's floating rib. The boxer's eyes widened, not from pain, from surprise. That punch had penetrated, found the gap, hurt. Viktor stepped back, hand to his side, looked at Bruce differently, with attention. This small man knew where to hit. Viktor's approach changed, more cautious, more respectful. He began to box properly, jab to measure distance, footwork to control range, professional technique, refined over 2 decades. Bruce circled, his shoulder still aching, his ribs bruised, but his eyes were calm, watching, learning, reading patterns. Viktor threw a jab. Bruce slipped. Viktor threw another. Bruce ducked. A third. Bruce caught it on his forearm. Each time learning, each time adjusting. Viktor followed with a right cross. Bruce saw it coming, read the shoulder load, the hip rotation, the weight transfer, moved offline. The punch passed through empty space. Bruce countered, strike to Viktor's lead leg, just above the knee. The big man's stance wavered. Viktor's face showed frustration. This was not supposed to happen. He was bigger, stronger, more experienced, professional boxer against martial artist. The outcome should be obvious, but the small man kept moving, kept adjusting, kept finding angles. Viktor charged, tried to overwhelm with volume, threw combinations, high, low, high. Bruce absorbed some on his guard, evaded others, countered when openings appeared. Small strikes, precise to ribs, to legs, to arms, accumulating damage. The crowd began to understand. This was not about single devastating blows. This was accumulation, death by 1,000 cuts. Viktor's breathing became heavier, his combinations slower, his footwork less crisp. Bruce's face remained calm, focused, patient. He was not trying to knock Viktor out. He was dismantling him, piece by piece, strike by strike. The referee watched, unsure whether to intervene. This was not boxing. This was something else. Viktor tried to clinch, reached for Bruce with both arms, trying to trap him, use his weight advantage. Bruce's hands came up, found pressure points. Viktor's left arm went momentarily numb. His grip failed. Bruce stepped away, free. Viktor stared at his own arm, flexing fingers, feeling returning slowly, confusion on his face. "What did you do?" His voice hoarse. Bruce did not answer, just waited. The fight continued. Viktor's arrogance was gone, replaced by desperation. He swung wildly, trying to land that one big punch, the knockout blow that would end this nightmare. Bruce moved like water, around the punches, between them. Never where Viktor expected, always just out of reach. Then in close, strike, gone again. Viktor's face was marked now, nose bleeding, eye swelling, breathing ragged. Viktor loaded up one more time, threw everything into a right hand, his last chance, his final attempt at dominance. Bruce did not evade this time, stepped inside, too close for the punch to land with power. Viktor's forearm hit Bruce's shoulder, no impact. Bruce's left hand found Viktor's solar plexus, short strike, precise placement, perfect timing. Viktor's breath exploded out, his knees buckled, not from power, from precision, from understanding anatomy, from 20 years of training, condensed into one technique. Viktor went down, not knocked out, not unconscious, just down on one knee, breathing hard, trying to stand, couldn't, his body would not obey. Bruce stepped back, did not celebrate, did not raise his arms, just stood, breathing controlled. The referee rushed over, checked Viktor, looked at Bruce, unsure what to do. This was not a knockout, not a submission, just defeat, clear, undeniable, witnessed by 3,000 people. The crowd erupted, not the Soviet section. They sat in shocked silence, but everyone else, standing, cheering, crying. They had seen it, seen the impossible, seen a man one-third the size dismantle, a professional boxing champion, not through luck, through skill, through discipline, through understanding. The elderly woman in the third row was crying again, not from humiliation now, from vindication, from justice. Viktor struggled to his feet. The referee supported him. His face was red, from exertion, from shame, from the crushing realization that everything he believed about dominance had just been proven incomplete. He looked at Bruce. No mockery in his eyes now, no arrogance, just recognition that he had met something he did not understand, could not defeat, would not forget. Bruce did not look at Viktor, did not look at the cheering crowd, walked to the ropes, climbed through. The crowd rushed toward him, wanting to touch him, to thank him, to know him. Who was this man? How had he done this? Bruce moved through them politely, but firmly. No interviews, no photographs, no celebration. He had done what needed doing, nothing more. The woman he had defended tried to reach him, to thank him. Bruce nodded once, respectful, then disappeared into the crowd. Nothing more. The woman he had defended tried to reach him, to thank him. Bruce nodded once, respectful, then disappeared into the crowd, into the Hong Kong night. Viktor Dragunov left Hong Kong the next day, returned to Moscow, continued boxing for 3 more years, won 15 more fights, but never with the same arrogance, never with the same certainty. Something had broken in that ring, not just his ribs, his worldview. He gave one interview years later, 1974, asked about that night. He paused long, then spoke quietly. I was a fool, thought size meant everything. Bruce Lee showed me there are things I did not understand, painful, but necessary. I deserved it. Bruce Lee never spoke publicly about that night. For him it was not achievement, just necessity. A woman had been insulted. Someone had to respond. That was all. No philosophy, no deeper meaning, just simple human decency. But for those who were there, for those who saw, for those who heard the story, it meant more. It proved that justice exists, that bullies can be stopped, that size is not destiny. Share this with someone who needs to understand that real strength is not about dominating the weak, it is about protecting them. Real power is not in your fists, it is in knowing when to use them and knowing when to walk away. The lesson remains: 3,000 witnesses, 1 professional boxer, 1 martial artist, 3 minutes that rewrote what people believed about fighting. Viktor learned that arrogance has a price. Bruce demonstrated that protection matters more than victory, and an elderly woman learned that there are still men who will stand up when others stay seated, not because they want glory, because it is right.